Hello everyone, and welcome on back to the channel. Today we are doing a pretty highly requested tutorial on our ultimate Skypirate starter base, which is actually our starter base from over on the core SMP. A bunch of people have reached out to me really wanting to see how I pulled this build together, so as a little bit of a thanks for 1k moment as well, I thought I would share this tutorial with you. And now this build is a little bit of a mixture of steampunk and pirate inspiration, complete with a small airship dock right here on the side, some elytra entranceways at this top bit of the house, and a black flag all the way up here to top it off. And coming around to the inside as well, you may notice it's a little bit bare bones in here. We haven't done up any interior in this particular model build, but if you stay tuned until the end, we are going to be taking a little walk through the version of this build I have over on the core SMP itself, so you can also get a little bit of interior inspiration. And launching straight into the block palette for this one, we have a pretty diverse block palette. So these are just the very base core blocks of a lot of what you're using, but you're going to need stairs, trapdoors, slabs, a lot of those other little bits and pieces that will come from these core blocks for this build. So we've got a deep slate mixture used generally for the base. We use azalea leaves, flowering azalea leaves, oak leaves for some of the bushes. We use a lot of dark oak logs, a little bit of stripped dark oak, a whole bunch of other dark oak assets. And then we use a bit of calcite, stripped oak logs, stripped jungle logs, oak planks, stripped spruce logs, spruce planks, of course our little blackstone scheme, so a few different variants of the blackstone, some warped planks, stripped warped hyphae, oxidized copper and oxidized cut copper, and then I've also just thrown a few of the little other bits and pieces you'll need to gather up for this one onto the hotbar, so a few azalea bushes, things like flower pots, grindstones, chains, lanterns, a few campfires for the chimneys, and a little bit of black wool for our pirate flag. And now, with that out of the way, the last big thing to address before we get stuck into this tutorial is going to be placement of this build and how you wrap the foundation around the spot you choose to put the build. So the build we're going to be building today is going to be right here in this exact spot that we built the original Skypirate Starter House. I'm going to chuck the seed and coordinates up on screen for you right now, so you're welcome to come to this spot and build it exactly where I am in this world. But I also want you guys to feel able to put this build anywhere you want, anywhere in the world. Us Sky Pirates, we're travelers, we're adventurers, so I've built a few different versions of this foundation with a little bit of a different staircase and different ways you can stretch the build to fit over your terrain to better make it kind of conform to the location that you are choosing to create this build, because I really want you to feel free to put this build anywhere. So here's a few really fun ideas. I built it in a forest, I built it in the Badlands, I built it in this tall, icy area. I think it's so fun, and I definitely think you guys should get creative with the foundation and the stairway up to it. Make it your own however you can. This build does work best placed on top of some kind of small hill where you can drag the foundation downwards almost on either side of it, but also have these fun points where it's a bit higher up that adds that different height variation and all those fun levels to the foundation itself. And now these here are the base dimensions for your build. So we've got this main long side that is 11 blocks long, then these front faces are 7 blocks, this little inlay of 3 blocks, 7 again along this way, 7 through here, 7 back around, 3, 7, and then back to our main side of 11. Now get your space laid out, figure out where you're going to be putting this build, and let's get straight in to the tutorial. And now, starting off the build, you're going to need some dark oak logs, dark oak stairs, dark oak trapdoors, and jungle buttons, and we're going to bring in the frame for our foundation. So coming into this left corner here, I'm getting rid of this first little bit of our outline and going 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up, and on this 4th one, flaring out 2 logs on that corner. Then from this point here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another pillar right here in this corner all the way down to the ground, flaring out those corners again. Then turning right, we go across 1 and have another pillar right here in this spot. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at the end of that we come down with another dark oak pillar, which we bring outwards at the corners again. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this gap and another pillar, flaring out the corners, and another gap of 5 with another pillar right here, gap of 1, another pillar, flared out corners, gap of 5, just like that. And going all the way down as far as we can with our supports for this one. Then bringing out the extra logs at this corner, going 1, 2, 3 across, and then bringing up another support and flaring that one out. Gap of 1, one more log beam, and all the way across with that one. Now I'm just gonna get rid of our wall outline. And then with this frame, we're gonna grab our dark oak stairs and bring them in underneath all these logs that poke out, dark oak trapdoors underneath those, and jungle buttons on the end, repeating this all the way around. And with those details added onto the frame, grab your cobbled deep slate bricks, deep slate tiles, and polished deep slate, and we're going to be coming in here to add a bit of an indented foundation. So we're just going through our texture mixture, and we're doing it 1 block inwards from our frame all the way around the build, all the way down to the ground. So one finished side of the deep slate should look something like this. We've brought it up to just underneath where our frame is here on the inside. And don't forget to replace these little bits of dirt that will be right underneath the foundation with deep slate as well, to make it look like it almost goes down further into the ground. And then just doing that all the way around. And now your base should be looking something like this, with our deep slate reaching all the way down to the ground, all the way around. And then grabbing your dark oak stairs, come here to this front corner and place 1 upside down facing this way right here. Then alternating between upside down and front facing stairs, just make a little diagonal pattern of these all the way across the front of the build, connecting them up from support to support. So our first little one's gonna look like this. Then coming into this face, we're doing exactly the same thing with our stairs and bringing this diagonal pattern all the way across. But because this segment here is a little bit taller, we're gonna add a bit of extra detail to it. So coming into this stair here and going across one, knock out that one and place a plank in its place with a stair facing this way on its side. Then continuing our diagonal pattern from that one across the other way up to that point right there. Then we're adding 1 tiny extra detail, so from this stair, leave a gap of 1 and pop another stair just here like this. Then we're carrying across another little diagonal piece, just like this, till there. So that is the first little face done, and we can come into this little gap here and just pop a stair right here and a upside down stair beneath it with this little gap here. Coming around to this side, we're again just grabbing our stairs and starting with that upside down stair into the corner and carrying a diagonal all the way across. Continuing around the build, coming into this space again with that upside down stair into the corner and the diagonal working its way across the space. Just like that, and again with a little bit of stair action into this gap as well. Then coming around here, we are bringing in another diagonal in exactly the same manner all the way across. And then, because we again have one of our taller faces here, we're doing what we did on the other side. So coming to this stair, across one, plank, then stair facing this way from that into an upside down and diagonaling it back across the build, just like that. And then with that done, we're leaving a gap of 2 this time and bringing our next stair in right here. And then again going in with our little diagonal pattern. Then coming around to this final side, we're starting this one off in this right hand corner instead with our upside down. But again, a little diagonal just like this, then a gap of 1 and going back the other way. Then into this little gap here, we can just pop an upside down here and one facing the other way right there. And then from this left corner again with our upside down and going just across the space. And now that our base is nearly finished, we can grab some slabs and trapdoors and just start adding some extra details where they need them, such as a slab and trapdoor right there in that gap and again right here. And we can bring these in right here, turning the corner right here as well, right here. But don't really worry too much about them on this side. And now our foundation is pretty much done. And now for this staircase, you're going to be needing spruce stairs, spruce slabs, jungle trapdoors, and 2 or so spruce trapdoors, majority jungle for sure. And we're going to be starting this one from this top corner right here, where we can actually start by getting rid of this little button and bringing a spruce slab right here into this gap. Then with spruce stairs, bring them in upside down in this space right here, and then start just working our way downwards with our stairs. I'm just gonna knock out these blocks here so we can bring it down smoothly until we are at this corner point here with our stairs. And when we get here as well, we can actually just get rid of this little outcropping piece here and just kind of cover that little intersection with a dark oak trapdoor instead. Then bringing our spruce around the corner with your slabs like this. And now feel free to fill any of these visible gaps just like this, and we're bringing our blocks across one extra. Then with our spruce stairs from this point, we can begin working our way down the build, keeping them just in line like this until we have our stairs coming to this point. Then I'm going to go in behind them and just back them all with upside down stairs as well. Then grabbing our jungle trapdoors, we can just bring these in to the sides of all of our stair pieces, working our way up the staircase. So just like this, also coming around this side and adding them in where we can. And up here at this top level as well, we are bringing them in, but with these two here, we'll be doing a spruce on the corner just for a little bit of an extra accent, just like that, and then continuing our way up and around the stairs, just like this to the top here. And now, before we bring up the next layer of the house, it might be easiest to bring in a little bit of a floor for this first. So I'm just using some dark oak planks and dark oak and spruce logs for texturing here. Feel free to just use the planks, but we're just going to be filling in this layer of space in line with where our logs are. So I've gone in with all the planks first, and then I'm just running around kind of texturing in a bit of both of these log types. And there we go, something like that is a bit of a fun floor, and it will look a little bit nicer when the walls are in, so it's not clashing with our dark oak logs here. And now grabbing your dark oak logs, we're going to bring up the frame for the next layer of the house. So coming into this corner, I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And on this fifth one, we're copying exactly what we did down here and flaring it out just like this, bringing it across and continuing this all the way around. The only difference is when we get to this end right here, we're only flaring it out from the front. We're not worrying about bringing it out in that spot there. So that same thing applies for this side here as well, just because we're going to have a roof coming in these spots, so it's going to clash with a poking out log. And then continuing to bring our supports up all the way around, bringing them in these spots as well, exactly as we did on the lower area. And then from this point here, we're mirroring what we did down there once more, so grabbing our dark oak stairs like this, dark oak trapdoors underneath, and jungle buttons on top, and just repeating that all the way around. And now from this point, we're going to start bringing in our walls for this right wing. So grabbing some calcite, some stripped dark oak logs, a little bit of the dark oak wood as well, and some dark oak stairs. Start with a line of calcite right there. Then bring in a stripped dark oak log with a stair underneath. We'll have a door here onto a balcony a little bit later on. Another line of calcite, and then 2 pieces of the wood. There'll be a window in that spot, and another line of calcite again. Turning the corner, we've got calcite, another window, calcite, another window, so we can just bring this in like this and add in our stripes. And turning the corner again, it's exactly what we have over there, so 3 lines of our calcite just like this, log, stair for a doorway, and wood for a window, just like that. And then for the walls for this main section, you'll need oak planks, stripped oak log, oak stairs, and some stripped jungle log. And I'm just going to bring this all in oak first and then texture it up. So on this front face, we're going to have 2 windows, so you're going to want stairs in these spots here, and then I'm going to texture up our oak by bringing in a bit of our stripped oak and a little bit of the stripped jungle as well, something just like that. And we can fill this gap and this little gap here with our texture as well, so just kind of running our way through those 3 blocks. And then this wall here is a no window wall, so this one we can fill all with oak and texture up. There we go, something like that, filling this gap as well. And this one here is going to be another window, so starting with the stairs and then bringing in our texture. And there we go, that's that side done, and then this end is exactly the same as the other one with 2 windows in these spots here, and then filling this in with our oak texture scheme. And there we go. And now grabbing again your dark oak logs, dark oak stairs, some dark oak slabs, dark oak trapdoors, and jungle buttons, we're going to be bringing in the frame for the second story of this upper area. So with the logs, you can bring them in these corner pieces right here, these corner pieces right here, these 2 corners, these two corners and on these two. And then we're bringing these up by 4 for a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way around. And then from that height, we're bringing across a crossbeam and connecting them all up. There we go. And now we can also poke out some logs on this front piece right here and on the opposite, just like this. And grabbing our dark oak stairs, you know the drill by now, just popping those in underneath with some trapdoors and buttons, and doing that over on the other side as well. And now grabbing your dark oak stairs, just coming into this point, we're going to be placing some facing inwards like this, trapdoors either side of those, and slab in between, and repeating this shape just on the other side. Then around the corner as well, we're doing something similar enough. We're bringing in stairs and a trapdoor, a slab, and stairs and a trapdoor. Around the far side, feel free to just bring in a stair right there and a stair like this. And now we have one more thing to add here with our dark oak logs, and that is going to be our little airship dock on this side. So coming into this point here where we have our 2 inner log pieces, we're going out 1, 2, 3, 4 from each of these, just like this, popping some jungle buttons on the ends, and grabbing our dark oak stairs and coming into the 3rd one down right here, just like this, and then tapering them outwards just like we did with our diagonals on the foundations to that point there. Repeating that with the other side and popping some dark oak trapdoors on the underside right here, one right here, and slabs in that gap. And now for this upper floor, our walls are going to be spruce planks with a texture of stripped spruce logs and a few spruce stairs for our windows. And coming onto this front face, we've got 2 windows in this centerpiece exactly like we do right there. So placing our stairs like this and then putting in our spruce and of course texturing it up a little bit. Just like that. Coming around the corner, we've got a window piece right here, so just like this. There we go. Filling in this gap just with our texturing. And on this side, we have another window as well. So just like that. Over here, again with the 2 windows, so bringing in our stairs and then filling the rest in. And now grabbing your dark oak log as well, we are going to just be mirroring these 2 little supports on this side in this wall. So 1 down right here after a gap of 3, gap of 1, and another one down just like that to this level here where it's 1 above that lower floor. Then filling in all the space with our spruce. And then with this wall done, we can grab our dark oak log and just bring this all the way across here from this point as well. And then using some spruce slabs, let's bring up a staircase to get us up to the next floor. So starting with a dark oak log and bringing this one up in this corner here to 1 above our floor level and capping it off with a dark oak trapdoor. Then with our spruce slabs starting from right next to the post and going up by 1 as we carry our way around all the way until we reach the top. And now from here we can bring some dark oak logs across, just aligning up with these ones in the walls, filling this space here with slabs. On these sides here we can do slabs, then trapdoors, then slabs again. And the same over here with slabs like this, trapdoors like this. And then grabbing some ladders and coming into this corner, we can just run this one up the wall right here to take us up to the top of our build as it stands thus far. And now from this point here, we can bring in our floor for this next layer, which is basically just a mirror of what we've done on the floor beneath. So first grabbing our dark oak logs and just bringing these across lengthways in all of these points. So 1 right on the end, gap of 3, 1, gap of 1, 1, gap of 3, and 1 right here as well. Then with our dark oak slabs, bringing them lengthways just like this into all of these spots, across through the middle and lengthways again along the sides of the logs. Then filling these little middle gaps with our trapdoors. And then from this point here, we're going to be bringing on our 3rd little piece of the house. So grabbing our deep slate scheme again, we're going to start with the foundation for this one. And the centerpiece of this is going to be right here. So this will be where our ladder is. So kind of bringing our deep slate in all the way around that middle point right there. And from that point, we're bringing this up to be 4 blocks tall. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all the way around with that. And then once it's looking like this, grab yourself a single stair and place that upside down right there for our door into our little ladder area and pop another piece of deep slate just above it. And now you can also come around this side and bring your deep slate one block lower along this outer edge, just like that. And now right up at the top here, we're going to be having another one of our floors similar to the lower area. So bringing in some dark oak and just texturing that up. So something just like that, and then we can bring a ladder in through the middle all the way to the top. And now with our foundation and floor in, let's bring the frame around this segment of the build. So using our dark oak logs, we're bringing our cross beams just like they were, but we're not too worried about this edge that's facing in towards the build, because most of this is going to be embedded into the roof later on. But coming out to these corners, we're again bringing out our little cross section and doing that over here as well. And then we're bringing it down from this point until it's got 2 blocks of space between it and this lower log. So just to this level, and the same right here. And now you can also grab a little dark oak trapdoor and place that on the outer piece of that support, and the same over here. And then you know the drill by now for these little cross pieces, bringing in the stairs, the trapdoors, and the jungle buttons, and the same just here. Then with our dark oak stairs as well, coming into this corner and bringing them across just like that, at which point it's going to run into the roof. Coming over here and doing exactly the same, starting with the upside down and bringing it all the way across. And over here, the same again. So upside down and across, at which point it will run into the roof. And now bringing up our frame for this upper little piece of the house, coming into this corner here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. Bringing out our cross section on the lengthways run of the house, but not on that horizontal line. And bringing it across to this point here, where we match it up, bring across another cross beam, go upwards, another little piece that sticks out, and across all the way, just like that. So our frame should be looking something like this. And then again with our stair, trapdoor, and button details for these little pieces that stick out. And while we're at it, we can also bring some upside down dark oak stairs with a trapdoor between them into this space here, and the same on the other side. And then for the body of this uppermost piece, we're using oak planks, stripped oak logs, stripped jungle logs, and oak stairs again. And on this front side right here, we're going to have a window, so bringing in some stairs just like this, and then bringing in our oak scheme next to it. So there we go, something like that. Turning the corner to the right, this is going to be another window as well. There we go, turning the corner again. This one is going to be a door onto a tiny balcony. So go a block with a stair underneath it, and then again just filling in those sides. There we go, and then for this final side, we are just filling in this wall. And then with that wall all textured up, the main base of our build is done, and we're going to move on to bringing in our roof frame. So grab yourself some blackstone stairs, polished blackstone brick stairs, and polished blackstone stairs, same in our blocks and in our slabs, and we're going to come into this first little segment and start bringing in our roof frame. So starting with our stairs and running them along the edge of this roof, working our way through our texture scheme just to this point here where our log that pokes out is. Then on top of that log, place a block, then go a stair on top of that, stair behind it, block again, stair, stair, block one more time, stair above that, and upside down stair right there on that center line. And then on top of that stair, go another stair facing inwards, and a final one just on the end like that. Then we are repeating this little shape onto this side and bringing it up to meet in the middle. So there we go, it should be looking something like that at this point, and now we're just going to grab our slabs and run them along until they run into the body of the build right there. Then, with frame number 1 done, it's time to move on to frame number 2. So this one, we're starting from this little edge right here. So bringing in our stairs again along our little log piece all the way to right here where our log sticks out again. And then we're going an upside down stair straight into block, stair, stair, block, stair, upside down stair, block again, stair again, and we're continuing to bring up blocks and stairs till this point right here, which is again our center line. And on the center line, it's upside down stair, stair, upside down stair, and then with side 1 of the frame done, you guessed it, we're repeating it over here. But first, we're bringing in a little upside down stair just like this right here, 1 block away from our airship dock, because we're going to bring a little bit of a roof frame over this area as well. Then we're grabbing our stairs and running them along just as we did on the other side, straight into an upside down stair, block, and then copying that shape, bringing it up to meet. And then with this side of the roof frame on, we're repeating everything we did just here immediately onto this side here. And there we go. With the frame repeated over, it should be looking something just like this. And now you can grab your slabs and just connect up this top point of the roof right here, all the way across to the other side. Just like that. Now coming down here to these little points of the roof here, we're bringing in our blocks. We're going up by a block, stair, upside down stair, block, stair, upside down stair, block, one more stair, and then into our centerpiece, which is of course upside down stair, stair on top, and upside down stair again, then bringing that little shape in to match. And then with that little frame brought up, we're grabbing our slabs and just bringing 3 slabs in behind that point, just like that, so it will kind of run into where this block here is. And then with the frame on the main segment done, we are coming up here to do the last bit of our frame, which grabbing our stairs, we're running lengthways along this little piece of the build right here. Then moving upwards with the good old block, stair, upside down stair, block, stair, and centerpiece with the upside down stair, up and upside down stair. Then repeating it along this side and bringing it up to meet once more, matching it over here as well. And then with our little roof frame looking just like this, we're grabbing our slabs and meeting these 2 stairs in the middle, just like that. Alrighty, and now for our roof, this one is quite the texture scheme. If you just want a very basic roof, you could use the warped planks and warped stairs, mix in a little bit of the stripped warped hyphae, but we're spicing this one up a bit extra with some oxidized cut copper, oxidized cut copper stairs, and some warp trapdoors as well. And now there are a few different ways people like to do pretty complexly textured roofs like these ones. I personally find it easier to fill in the roof with a base block than start adding in my other pieces. Feel free to just build this in with the texture as you go, but I'll show you how I do this as well. And now our base block for this roof is our warped wood. So first I'm bringing in my warped plank and my warped stairs to mix in with this segment of the roof. Just making sure to line those up with where our frame shows they should go. Then I'm grabbing some stripped warped hyphae and I'm kind of running all over the roof, mixing some of it in. So something just like that. Then I'm doing the same with my copper, so I'm bringing in little bits of the copper and of course little bits of the cut copper and the cut copper stairs as well. And then we'll have something like that. And then the final little touch to add to this roof is going to be our warp trapdoors, which we're just going to kind of add all over the roof. I think these look like such a fun little detailed, almost tile-like piece. And I think it adds quite a lot to the overall feel of the roof. And there we go. The end result of the roof is something like this, where it's a bit of a mishmash of all of the blocks with a bunch of the warp trapdoors laid over on top. And then we're taking what we've done here and repeating it into this space. And there we go. This roof is looking so fun already, and we're basically just repeating what we've done here to fill out the entire frame we've got laid out. So we're gonna start by bringing it in on this side because that's fairly simple. We're just running it into this piece of build as we go. And I'm gonna do my thing where I bring in my warped planks and then texture it up, but if you want to wait to see what I've done with the texturing and just copy it block for block, that is also an option. And now that this segment of the roof is textured, it should be looking something like this. This is what I've done for either side of it here, and I did do up this little piece in through here as well, and I just put the black stone stairs back that I had to move out of the way to place that in there. Then coming around here, we are of course doing exactly the same texture scheme, and we are connecting it up with this little piece of roof frame as well. So I'm going to show you how we shape that, bringing in our warped wood here. We are just bringing in the planks and turning the corner anywhere they meet, exactly the same with the stairs. And there we go, another fully textured segment of roof, and then of course we're doing exactly the same thing to fill this little upper frame too. And there we go, our roof is now pretty well finished, and it just leveled up a whole bunch. I really love this particular blue roof texture scheme, especially with the black stone trim. And now we gotta fill some of these big holes in the roof. So the first one of these spaces we're gonna fill is this end piece right here, using some stripped spruce logs and barrels. And we're doing a stripped spruce log along the center line, leaving a gap, another stripped spruce log coming down, and another one right here as well. And then in these two gaps, we're doing some stripes of our barrels, just like that. And then you can grab some dark oak stairs, dark oak trapdoors, dark oak slabs, and place some facing inwards from these two logs, trapdoor, slab in the middle, just like that. Then coming up to this front end right here, grab yourself some stripped dark oak logs, calcite, dark oak stairs, dark oak trapdoors, and dark oak slabs, and we're going to be having our elytra entranceways up in this area. Starting with our calcite, we're bringing in a strip of it, a strip of dark oak, one piece of calcite, and then a stair, dark oak trapdoor, upside down stair, just like that, then continuing our calcite above. Then bringing our stripped dark oak down till it's on this level here with a trapdoor right there, another lot of calcite and another stair inwards, stripped dark oak, calcite, trapdoor, stair, just like that. And bringing down another line of our stripped dark oak logs, calcite right there, and our dark oak trapdoor there in the middle for this little circular shape that we'll be using to fly in and out of in survival. And then the next thing to do to make a functioning elytra entranceway is to kind of create a faux inner wall within which we can put some water to negate that nasty fall damage. So bringing in some calcite and another lot of the dark oak stairs, we're mirroring exactly what we did with that wall, but leaving a 1 block gap. And now it doesn't really matter what block you fill this inner space with, so I'm just going to use some stripped dark oak logs, and what we just need to do is create this little floor here, bring in these walls and bring this across so we have this tiny little space that matches up with the size of our circular hole. Then grabbing some water buckets, we're just placing 3 of them right there into that space. Then we have our little fly in and out entryway, and we're repeating everything we've done right here straight onto this other side. And there we go. Once we have our entranceway on the other side as well, just like that, we're grabbing some dark oak stairs and bringing them in upside down from either of these points, then trapdoors and a slab, and doing that same little pattern over on the other side. Then for this little piece right here, first grab some dark oak trapdoors and just pop them in either of those spots. Then grab your calcite and pop it into these spots here, just like that. Then another stripped dark oak, 2 pieces of calcite, another stripped dark oak right there. Then again with our dark oak stairs, we are doing stairs into those corners, dark oak trapdoors along these edges, just like that. Then grabbing some spruce trapdoors, we are bringing these in from this side, going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we are placing a door right there and putting a spruce trapdoor on top of it, opening all our trapdoors to make this tiny little wall just like that. Then with that little doorway done, we're coming up to the top and we're bringing our calcite in either side, just like this, and our dark oak stripped log in that middle line. Doing the same on the other side. So now with that done, grab some dark oak logs, barrels, dark oak buttons, grindstones, dark oak fences, chains, lanterns, and dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to be adding some of our support beams to this roof as well. So bringing a dark oak log out 2 from this point and popping a barrel onto the end, button there, grindstone underneath, and bringing down 1 fence and popping a lantern at the bottom of that piece. Then we're also bringing a dark oak trapdoor in underneath where that log is and doing 2 dark oak trapdoors on the end of that point. Then moving up the roof to this point over here, we're grabbing our dark oak logs and bringing this one out as well by 2, barrel on the end, button on the end of that, grindstone underneath, into a fence piece, into a chain, and into a lantern. And now you can modify this if you're worried about running into it. I don't mind the parkour challenge, but if you're stressed about running into this lantern, you can even bring this all the way up to just be a lantern right there. That is the very safest option, but I'm in it for the aesthetics, so I'm gonna let it hang down that bit extra. Then with our dark oak trapdoors, 1 underneath the log and 2 coming out from that roof end. Then coming around to this side as well with our dark oak logs, out by 2, barrel on the end, button underneath, but just a lantern underneath that barrel because there's not too much space for anything else without hitting our head on it here. Then a dark oak trapdoor on the underside and 2 more trapdoors coming out from there. Around this side, we're doing much the same, again with the dark oak logs, barrel, trapdoor, grindstone, and on this one, I'm just doing a fence and a lantern. Then, of course, dark oak trapdoor on the underside and on that roof point. Then, dark oak logs up here, barrel, button, grindstone, fence, chain, lantern, and, of course, the trapdoors again in much the same manner. Then coming around to this side as well with the double log, barrel, button, grindstone, fence, lantern here, then again with the trapdoors just on that underside and onto that point. Then with our dark oak trapdoors, we're also bringing these onto these little undersides of the roof. So placing one on the second one in and on the one right above the door here. Then going up here, we're placing one in one, gap of one and one in there as well. And up at the very top, one here and one here. Doing the same on the other side, so in one, dark oak trapdoor, gap of 3, one above our door. Going up one, we're going in one, gap of 1. And round the other side as well with our dark oak trapdoors, one on the underside, gap of 1. One there, gap of 1, just like that. And up at the very top, you can chuck them in, but especially on this side, it doesn't matter too much. Feel free to destroy some trapdoors if they are in your way, and you should have something just like that. And that is our roof pretty much done. And now that the majority of our roof is done, let's bring in a few of our additional pieces, which are going to be our chimneys and then our flag. So starting with the chimneys, you're going to want to grab your deep slate mixture. Again, we're using the cobbled, the brick, the tile, the polished, a little bit of stairs, and you're going to need a wall or two for these chimneys. Grabbing some dark oak spruce trapdoors as well, and some campfires, which I just don't have room for on my hotbar right here. Then coming around to this back side of the build where our stairs are, and coming in, we're going in one layer and across one layer. So our chimney is going to be right here in this space, right in line with where this support is. Then we're going 4 high on a mixture of our blocks. Then we're going stair, upside down stair, then 3 more blocks, and a little campfire with a wall on top, and we're doing dark oak trapdoors on these sides and spruce trapdoors on these, though that doesn't really matter too much. Then with chimney number 1 done, it's time for chimney number 2, which is going to be up here right in this corner. And we're starting to bring this one in this spot right here. So getting our deep slate mixture again and starting to block this one in. We're first bringing it up by 3 blocks, so it's at this point here. Then grabbing our stairs, we're going them facing away from the roof, then upside down stairs on the other side of that. Then grabbing our blocks, we're going up 2 more, just like this. And then popping in some placeholder blocks, we are doing some upside down stairs right there. Then after getting rid of those placeholder blocks, we're putting campfires in where there were, doing a wall above one and 2 walls above the other. Then also grabbing our dark oak trapdoors and running these around, mixing in a few spruce as well. Then with our 2 little chimneys done, grab yourself some dark oak logs, dark oak trapdoors, dark oak fence gate, barrel, deep slate tile wall, iron bars, and some black wool, and we're bringing our flag in right here up at the top. So coming into our top roof right here, we're going inwards by 1 and knocking out these blocks here. This is where we're bringing in our flag. Then with our dark oak logs, we are going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then popping a dark oak trapdoor right there at the base of it and 2 barrels on top of that, and a final log right there up at the top. Then it's a little bit of wall, fence, iron bar action for this really nice little point right up at the top. Then we're bringing in our dark oak fence gates and doing 2 of them right next to the barrels going across the roof of the house. And then from here, we're bringing in our flag. So if you want to do your own flag for this one, get a bit stylistic with that. Feel absolutely free to. We are just doing a basic black flag, so getting a little bit of black wool and doing it right there next to the gates. Then we move our flag to the left by 1, just like this, and we do a little block of 6. Then we go back the way we came by 1 and do this little piece of 3, this little triangle, then going back the way we came one last time for this tiny little diagonal bit. And now that we have the flag done, grab yourself some spruce slabs, jungle trapdoors, a few spruce trapdoors, and some dark oak doors, and we're going to be bringing in some balconies. So the first one we're bringing in is right here on the front, and we can start by knocking out these 3 little pieces of that outcropping and bringing our spruce slabs out by 2 to that point right there. Then bringing on our railing for our little balcony, we've got jungle trapdoors for those 4, spruce trapdoors for the corner, and 1 more jungle trapdoor here, opening all of those out just like that. And then we're grabbing some dark oak doors and popping a little door right there, another one right there. And then balcony number 1 done, we're coming all the way up and around to this little doorway and bringing in our second smaller balcony. So I'm first bringing out 3 spruce slabs just like that in that location, and then we're just using jungle trapdoors for our railing on this one. And I'm popping one here as well, and then of course throwing the door in. And now that that little balcony is done, we are well and truly on the home stretch for our Skypirate starter base. So grab yourself some glass panes, dark oak fence gates, dark oak slabs, dark oak trapdoors, spruce trapdoors, oak trapdoors, and jungle trapdoors, and we're going to be doing up our windows and finishing up some details. Starting by popping a dark oak fence gate right above the door and a slab on top of that. Then we can head around and pop some glass panes into these windows, doing the same thing with some dark oak fence gates and then slabs right above those. And then for this oak segment, we're doing spruce trapdoor shutters, so just 2 spruce trapdoors like this to the left of the window. And then also grab a dark oak trapdoor and place it right there under the window. We're going to come back and put some bushes here in just a minute. Then moving down the build, we can bring our glass panes into all of these windows here as well, popping our dark oak fence gates on that top one of the 2 glass panes with the slabs above them. And then our shutters on the spruce face are going to be the oak trapdoors, so bringing those in, and then on the oak face it's going to be the spruce again, so popping those on either side of the windows. And then popping 2 slabs just underneath these windows and a trapdoor connecting them. This will be another bush box in just a minute. Then coming round to this window, we're doing again our glass panes, dark oak fence gate, slab, and then jungle trapdoors for the shutter on this one. And then turning this little corner, we're popping glass panes into these ones, again with the gates and the slabs, jungle trapdoors on either side for the shutters here too, and again another little spot for a bush box in just a minute. And then around this side, it's much the same as it was on the other side. We can fill all of these windows with our glass panes and then pop our gates and slabs above all of them. Then we've got the oak shutters on the spruce, spruce shutters on the oak, and the jungle shutters over the calcite. Then 1 more bush box is going to be right here under this oak segment as well. Then coming around to this final side, we're popping glass panes into the windows, again with the gates and slabs as well. Then spruce shutters on the oak shutters on the spruce just to the left of both of these windows, and 2 slabs and a trapdoor right here as well. And then as well, grabbing your dark oak trapdoors, you can pop 1 just there on the upper side of that stair underneath that window, the same under this top left window, and going around here, the same underneath this top left window as well. And now it's time to add the finishing touches to our Skypirate starter base using a little bit of greenery. So we're bringing in some flowering azalea leaves, oak leaves, dark oak signs, spruce signs, chains, azaleas, flowering azaleas, and flower pots. And starting from right next to this elytra entranceway, I'm just going to pop down an oak leaf with a flower pot and flowering azalea in it. Then coming a little bit further down, maybe a flower pot with a standard azalea. Then a little bit further down again, grabbing 1 of each of our leaves to fill out our bush box and running a mixture of our signs around those. So maybe 3 on the dark oak and 2 on the spruce, just like that. Then coming up onto the balcony, you can pop a leaf just underneath this window and run some signs around that one as well. And then maybe even a little chain hanging right here with a pot and an azalea from that one. Then turning the corner, we're again popping 1 of each of our leaves into the bush box and doing the same thing with our signs. Then we can also grab a flower pot and put it just up here with a little azalea plant in there. Then coming around this side of the build, we can pop a little flower pot with an azalea right there, and we can even put maybe another one just up here, a little leaf in next to that one, another flower pot and azalea in front of this window, and then down here 1 of each of our leaves again and running our signs around that as well. Then with this side done, we're turning around the corner again and we're popping 1 of each of our leaves into this bush box place as well. Coming in again with our signs. And then a pot with an azalea in it just on that little windowsill. Maybe a chain and an azalea hanging from this little corner too. And then with this side done, heading up to the very top, we can hang a little azalea from this corner piece as well. And we can pop a leaf onto this windowsill and run some signs around this one as well. And then with those little details added, there's one last thing left to do, which is to add some chains and lanterns onto some of our roof corners. So coming into this corner here, I'm doing 1 chain and 1 lantern, then around here, 2 chains and a lantern. Then coming up to this corner, it's 1 chain here and 2 chains here in this one. Then going all the way around here, we're going 1 chain again in this corner and no chain for that final one. And there you have it, your Skypirate starter base is complete. Now, let me add a little bit to the terrain around here. And your ultimate Skypirate starter base is now done. Well, at least on the exterior. If you're interested in getting a little bit of interior inspiration for this one as well, let's take a little journey over to the core SMP and I will give you some ideas for that one. And here we are over on the core SMP where we have the original Skypirate starter base right here behind me. As you can see, we've got the little airship parked in next to it and a few other builds scattered around, but heading up in here, let's take a look at the original interior I used for this build. So we've got that same floor pattern I showed you guys, but a splash of brown carpet over it, and here in this end we have a little seating area, some bushes on the sides, and some kegs and extra storage up the top there. Up here, this is what this inner roof looks like. And coming in through this way, we've got an anvil and a little bit of enchanted book storage right underneath. I also added a tiny kitchenette with the super fun calcite and polished black stone floor area and a bit of extra storage for food goods in the area. And heading downstairs into the basement, this is Commodore Cluck, and I cannot believe that Belle is still there. Oh my goodness, I entirely forgot about that. And we have this auto furnace, auto composter tucked into the back here, and a little bit of a beginner storage down here as well. Some chests, barrels, paintings all over the walls, and a little bit of extra storage here. Then coming up our little set of stairs, we've got a little bit of a bedroom. So I've got this super fun triple bed with a triple keg spread over the top. We've also got a little writing desk right here, little book on our lectern, an extra bookshelf brought out from the wall there, keg, and a little bit of a head display through the central area with this little pillar of books and a loom there in the corner. Then as well, heading all the way up this way, we've got a little museum area with this fun black carpet spread over the floors. We've got these little scaffoldings placed on top of the barrels for a bit of a museum display with some items in those item frames for mementos. Then of course, this comes out here to the airship, nothing too crazy going on there. A few armor stands, some bushes, a little pile of gold in the corner, and up at the very top, I've got a little bit of a parrot room, but feel free to do at this room as you wish. Just a little bit of scaffolding, storage, ladders, lightning rods, chains all around up there, and coming out here, nothing too crazy going on here on the balcony. And I really do hope that little show through gave you at least a few fun ideas for the interior of your own Skypirate starter base. And there you have it, our ultimate Skypirate starter base tutorial is finally complete. I hope you love the outcome of this build just as much as I do. And also, on a side note, there is definitely going to be a little bit of a starter airship tutorial coming very, very soon, featuring the airship I have parked next to this build over on the SMP, so don't forget to hit that bell and stay tuned for that one if you want an airship to park next to your house as well. And I did just want to take a second here right at the end to say thank you guys so much for 1K subscribers. We have hit the big 1K in less than a year of having the channel. It's been an absolute blast so far. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for all the support, all the views, all the lovely comments you guys leave me, and those that don't leave comments as well. I appreciate you guys too. And with that, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know what your favorite thing is about today's ultimate Skypirate starter base tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.